and everything we talk about, everything we go over is going to be recorded, and I'll post a link on Target Solutions. And if you want to go back to review what we've done, you can go watch the video basically. So again, proper etiquette for web meetings is that everybody goes on mute until you have to say something. There is a hand raise feature on the Teams, but because I'm going to be using the Target Solutions, that window will be hidden behind it. So if you have any questions, just come up on the mic and just stop me. But I'll go slow. I'll take breaks so there's room for questions. But again, yeah, this is the Target Solutions review. So it's kind of an overview of what all the videos discuss, the PowerPoint, the voiceover PowerPoint videos. So any questions up to this point? Okay, so everybody can see the screen. So if I don't hear anything, I'm assuming it's yes. So everybody can see the screen. There's these two new links here. Web meeting. These are the web meetings I did with blue and red. So I'll link up Green's one here if anybody wants to go back and review it, and if you missed something or need to know more information that you thought you heard, and you can go back and review it. So if not, let's start from the beginning. I'm gonna go over the weekly routine, and I'm just gonna click on this link here, and then under that link here, you're gonna have this PDF called Weekly Routine. This one up here is just a PowerPoint of the video. So if you want to follow along on the video, but this is the document that has all the information on it. So I'm not gonna read this whole thing here. You just scroll down to this right here. So the weekly routine, I'm just considering it as those items we do every day. And from last I heard, I think Kailo is still following the schedule. So what I did was I kind of reduced it down or defined it more, where at least all of the trucks have an assigned date to get clean, and then we make sure we clean them at least once a month. I know Station 1, we have the pumper, the Station 2 has a boat, and it's not real clear as when we should be breaking those down. So again, the first week, the third week will be your assigned vehicles. Your second week here would be your utility vehicles. Your fourth week will be pumpers and boats. And if you have a fifth week, then just miscellaneous cleanings. Some months don't have week 5. So for Kaleloa, maybe whatever auxiliary vehicles you have that you guys it's not on rotation, you guys can add it here on the fourth week. Any questions on that?
We're gonna add yard day on that one.
Okay, yard day. Yeah, however, but
Yeah.
as long as all your vehicles are getting covered, this is flexible enough to, you know, because you guys don't have a pumper or a boat, but you can add it yard day, however you guys want to do it. But for Station 1, 2, 12 wasn't on a schedule. The boats weren't on a schedule. At least we can get them on a monthly rotation where those can get clean. If you guys don't have something, you guys fill in those dates on what you guys think is needed on those days for Monday. Okay, so any more questions on Monday? Okay, so Tuesdays, usually for H&L we do refueler inspections. But we're gonna add to that what we're gonna call a tactical pre-fire plan, and then we're gonna try and bring back the sprinkler inspection. So if we're not doing feelers on a Tuesday, at least every Tuesday do a walkthrough of a building in your area or a sprinkler inspection. So if you look at the training master plan, we're gonna require at least one pre-fire plan a month. So that's Tuesdays will be the day to schedule that in. So at a minimum, you should be producing at least one pre-fire plan or one churn report of a walkthrough every month. And for those who are not on Tuesdays, I think this month is Blue's not on a Tuesday. Just push it back to another day, maybe to Wednesday, or as long as you're hitting one pre-fire plan a month if you're not on a Tuesday. Other than that, you should be doing refuelers, sprinkler, or just normal walkthrough every Tuesday. Any questions on the Tuesday? Okay. So Fridays, fuel and inventory, no changes to that. We just is status quo. I think we've got enough stuff to do on Fridays to keep us busy. So I didn't change Friday. Saturdays, station cleanup. So just like the vehicle breakdown, um, we were trying to make sure every part of the station gets cleaned on a rotation and just some accountability on that. So first Saturday is kitchen day room, training room. Second Saturday is your deck, compressor room, and then trash outside, empty trash, pick up trash outside. Thursdays. Third Saturday is restrooms and weight room, and then fourth Saturday offices and bunk room. So again, Kailua, if you don't have something here, you guys just substitute it for us a part of the station that should be in the rotation. Any questions on the Saturday? Okay. So that's the weekly routine. And if you put everything on a calendar, it just makes sense to include all of this. So I'm gonna go back to the target solutions and show you that it's on here. So all the orange here, right here, is your weekly routine. So again, your first Monday for the month is your assigned vehicle, and if it just kind of like preps you for what on what day. So if you're coming in the morning, if you're a driver, firefighter, or officer, you can click on here, and it should already tell you what to do. When I was a lieutenant, every Monday was like the question is like, what are we gonna clean, this and that. So now it just kind of runs itself, and we should follow this schedule. And then just it goes down Tuesdays, and then your Saturdays here on what you guys should be breaking down. So any question on that? No questions, comments? Okay, easy. So the next item I want to cover is uh, the ARF master training plan, and that document is is in here. So ARF master training plan right here. Click on that, and I'm not gonna go to this whole thing here. I'm just gonna go down to the spreadsheet here. So what's new for the training is that we're going to require monthly training reports and to cover these items here: CPR, SCBA, wet drill, which is any type of practical drill, boat operations for Station 2, and then your monthly pre-fire plan. So every month we should be doing this at a minimum once. So CPR right now, we're trying to standardize high performance CPR. We have Kim Williams going to assist us with that. We're looking at using the HFT protocols to teach that out. I think the last time we formally did high performance was with Dr. Char, and from then on we kind of started to do a little bit different on each shift. So this way we're gonna do the same type of high performance CPR, and that'll be required at least monthly. So the minimum to be considered as a drill, a CPR drill, would be at least 2 rotations of CPR. So everybody needs to do at least 2 rotations of that. SCBA, everybody should be on air every month at least once. So what constitute an SCBA drill would be dawn and off SCBA, go on air and activate your pass as a minimum. And if you guys want to do a more extensive drill on it, then that's fine. But at a minimum, everybody should throw on their pack, go on air, and activate and deactivate your passes. Rescue boat ops. Yeah, we just need a 1 launch per month, and then a pre-fire plan. Um, okay, any questions on that? So the minimum time for your wet drill is 1 hour. So 1 hour minimum for your drill. Okay, go on. What a question.
On your free fire plan,
Yeah.
you guys have like a spreadsheet or like a matrix to do it? I know back in the day in a fixed fire, they had like this pre sheets that we could, it had a map and it all had the listings, or do we just draw one out? You know what I'm saying? Like a standard format form.
Yeah, so right now we don't have a standard form. So for now, until we get one going, we should just go out and do a pre-fire plan. Rather, it won't be a formal documented pre-fire plan. We're not going to enter it, and you could start a folder, but until we have something where we're all using the same format, um, the main thing is just going out and walking through the hangars or whatnot until we can get that
Okay.
going. Eventually, we're going to get MDTs and whatnot at H&L, and that's where we're going to start to create pre-fire plans where an address pops up, this document is linked to that and whatnot. But for now, just get out and just the main thing is just getting eyes on a hangar and just seeing what's inside for now, and then hopefully we'll get something going as soon as we free up some time to someone to work on that. So right now, just Tuesdays, just regular walkthroughs. Okay. So again, like minimum drill time. So if your monthly drill, wet drill, should be at least 1 hour, and your regular company training, which is your FAR 139, should be at least half an hour. So we'll get into that later. But your practical drill every month is at least an hour. You at least have 2 rotations on your CPR, and you don and off, go on air, activate pass for your SCBA. So I'll go. I don't know if it's in here, but I'll go and try and define that more. So at least we set those minimums up. Okay, so moving on here. Specialized training. So under specialized training, we're gonna put the EMT, EMR, CPR, hazmat refresher, live fire, all those certificates that we gotta renew annually or I mean, every 2 years will be considered specialized training. So every we're gonna dedicate certain months to that training. Let's say CPR is in March. Every March, we're going to recertify CPR. Every June is EMT. And I'm just saying, every August will be hazmat refresher. So we're going to dedicate months to these topics here. So every month, every calendar year, it's the same expiration. Everybody just does those uh, those topics every month, just to keep everybody on track and prepare everybody. Live fire's coming up. We got to start, maybe practice turret ops or something. But none of this, all this stuff should be scheduled. It shouldn't be a surprise that we're expiring. In the past we had live fire in 2 weeks. And it's those kinds of things should be scheduled throughout the year, and they should be on a rotation basis that everybody knows when those things come up. But this right here, the specialized training, is not set in stone yet because of COVID and everything else. It pushed everything back. So the first thing we're going to start to schedule is that hazmat refresher. So hazmat refresher will be done end of August will be due. So every August we're going to dedicate hazmat. So even though you're current, we're just going to have everybody reset to August, and then from this year on, every August will be designated hazmat refresher. So what's new on the hazmat refresher is that we're going to have it a 6 hour refresher. So 2 hours of that six will be self-study under target solutions. And I'll go over that it's self-study, self-assigned. There's courses. There's about 8 courses on there. They're about an hour each. So as long as you get 2 hours worth, um, that'll take place of the self-study. And then the 4 hours will be instructional hours, like a classroom hours. So I'm gonna get with Lieutenant Yogi, and we're gonna set up some a class on a 4 hour class on some HAZ refresher. So again, it'll be a 6 hour refresher. 2 hours will be self study, and then 4 hours will be in class instruction. And we're looking at that having be due at the end of August. And we're making the curriculum now. So, any questions on that hazmat refresher? No. Okay. We're gonna move down here to company training. So the FAR 139 requirements, I'm gonna consider it as company training. Most of these topics here are, at our company level, task level, lieutenant teach his crew type of topic. So if you look at the schedule here, we have your first topic here. Every topic comes up twice a year. So what is that noise? So every topic comes up twice a year. So you have airport fam, January and July, and then aircraft fam, January and July. So you have 2 topics per month, right? And then so every year, calendar year, you should at least have 2 training reports per FAR topic. Yeah, here. And then there's a makeup week on in June. The last week of June is a makeup week, and the last week in last 2 weeks in December is a makeup week. So I can go back to the objectives after this. But any questions on how that's scheduled out? And we'll throw it on the calendar. We'll look at it. It looks better on the calendar. But 2 topics per month, and twice a year. That should satisfy the FAA training. So let me go jump back here to calendar here. So here's our calendar here. So here's topic 1, airport fam, and it runs to the 15th, and then from the 16th to the end of the month is aircraft fam. So that's 2 topics for that month. And then August you have rescue, firefighting, personal safety, and emergency communication. So within the 2 weeks, at least try to complete that topic, that training report within that 2 weeks. We don't want to get too far behind as far as the training report. So if we can finish those within the that 2 weeks, it'll keep everybody on track. Any questions on that? Okay. So if you need to know what the objectives are within the topic, right, this link right below the calendar says FAA training objectives. And this is just the AC circular that will give you some of the objectives. So airport fam, under airport fam, there's all these objectives. You just need to pick one to satisfy that. So these are all the things you guys can train in under that. So for every FAA topic, there are training objectives in it here that you guys can cover. So any questions on that? Okay, so getting back to the calendar here, if you look at the calendar, we have, of course, we just talked about your FAA training, but we also added your CPR, SCBA drills here. So every first shift back of the month, where we schedule a CPR, SCBA drill, and then your first day back on the second half is your wet drill or boat ops or your practical drill. So again, like July 1st is green, and then red in the second, and blue comes in on the 4th. But again, these are placeholders. So let's say July 1st, we're busy doing something. Let's push our CPR SCBA drill back to the third here, or let's do it on Sunday. So these are not set in stone as far as you guys have to follow these, but the minimum is getting these done at least once a month. But you can pick a day that's free. So if you want to just let it ride and have your guys follow the schedule, you'll cover all the training you needed. But if you want to move it around because you guys had something scheduled, then you're free to do that. The bottom line is that we finish these practicals by the end of the month. Any question on that? Okay, good, easy. Okay, let's move down here to record training. So this is how you're gonna record the training. These right here are quick links to the more popular training reports that you're gonna do. The first one right here, the ARFF training. This link has all of our training reports. So every training report that you're gonna use, hopefully, is in this link here. And if you look at, they call them activities, in other words, training reports, but they're blank training reports. So what you need to do is fill them out. But each of these training reports are linked to a credential. So once you do one of them, it fulfills your ARFF credential, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to pick one here. Let's go to firefighting operations. So it's going to spool up. So this page here is where you pick the guys who were at the training. So let's say we did one and we're third watch here, or station 3. I'm gonna clear my name. Maybe this is blank because you could have spare guys here and account for training that for those guys there. So let's say this is Kalilua third watch and then all visible. And let's say Danny was off, so we can just go on his name. We can click him off. And let's say we have, for some reason or another, we have one guy working rank for rank. We have Vaughn working rank for rank that day. So we're gonna add him on there, and then we're gonna press continue. So once you press continue, all these guys on this training on the here will get credit for that training. So I'm gonna clear this out just so I don't get create these reports in. I'm just gonna put my name. So you can type in here to search too if need be. So I'm just gonna create this training report here, continue. See this page for the for this one right here, there's all these objectives under this topic. So whatever objectives you fulfilled, maybe let's say we did this one and this one. And then right here, you're gonna write a description of the training, the tools and equipment you used, and then aircraft model if there was any. Date complete is today. Let's say we started it at with 9. We did 2 hours worth. We just did it in the classroom. And your instructor, your location would be station 3, or let's say you were off property somewhere, you would add that in, and then you would press. If this is attached any necessary documents, you could upload stuff, but it's all optional in your reference material you use. So once you press record as complete, it's gonna note training for all of the guys that were on that first page. So I'm not gonna do it right now. So any questions on that? Yeah, so that's basically one training report. So we had a question regarding the training. So let's say you're doing a drill and you use SCBAs, you use ropes, you use ladders and other accessories. The training report, you should only have one training report that will cover the primary objective of that training. So you're not going to create multiple training reports for one drill. You're not going to have an SCBA one. You're not going to have a ladders one. You're not going to have anything, all those other stuff. It'll be a wet drill, your main objective, and then under the description, that description box, you're gonna type in, oh, we use SCBAs, we use ladders. You're gonna take credit there. So don't generate multiple training reports for one evolution. Any questions on that? So company drill here, there these three of them to choose from. Each of these are linked to a credential. So if I go handline operation, and I'm just gonna go continue here. And then if you read here as a handline operation, minimum 1 hour training, and then this activity will credit FAR, fire hose, nozzles, turrets, and etc. So for this activity here, you're gonna fulfill the FAA topic, fire hose, nozzles, and turrets, etc. So you'll get credit for that there. And this is where you would additional information, description of training and equipment used. This is where you take credit for your SCBAs and all those items that you used here. What happened here? So again, company drill incorporating structural apparatus. So that in itself is a FAA topic right here. So you get credit for that. Turret operation, you're going to credit the right here. ARFF objectives, application of extinguishing agents right here. So that you get credit in there. Oh, here, 06, application of extinguishing agents. So that this drill would credit that. Okay. Any questions, comments so far? Okay, so boat water, anything in the water, you would use this training report here. Your CPR AED would be here. So for your inspections, if you come under ARFF training and you just do under airport FAM, training subjects, and then let me just click through this real quick. And then just right here, this last topic, right, this last objective here says identify hazardous materials and their locations that are frequently stored. So we're just gonna click that for our tactical pre-fire plan. That'll credit that. That's the closest thing that we have for an inspection. Okay. Any questions, comments? Good. These links are not live yet. The hazmat will probably be live pretty soon. But these three links are not live yet. Okay, any questions on recording training? Okay, let's push through then. So reports. So I can you guys have the ability to generate reports. If you guys want to see the status of where you guys are at, like Kalilo only generate for your guys for Kalilo Green Shift, and Station 1 will be Station 1, so you won't be able to see, or you won't have a lot of guys on the other shifts on this report. So if let's see you want to see the monthly drills and where's everybody at with the monthly drills, press monthly drills, and this page comes up. So right here is kind of segues into the drill, and if you want to see more information, you can click these boxes here and it'll create that in the report. But right here, if you do the standard run this standard report here, then it should give you most of the information you need. You can also schedule this report. If you want this report to run monthly, you could click that box, and you could do it daily if you wanted. But if you did it monthly, and then you just fill that in, and you can have it email you. Just click that box. So in your email, you click the link for the report, and it'll generate it. It'll take you straight to the report, so you could see the statuses. But I'm just gonna run this as is. So this report for the drills is this month. So every month, it just takes account for the month. I'm just gonna run it and let it spool up here. So while this is spooling up, we can click around. We can bring up other reports if we want to. So while that's spooling up, I'm gonna click on this monthly drill. So if you have these reports listed down here, these are only for that day that you ran it. So for this one right here, the 9th at 9:30. So it's yesterday's one. So but if I wanted a current one, you'd have to just rerun the report. So it's done here. I'm gonna click on it. It looks like this. Let's go full screen here. This is what it looks like. So I have everybody. I show everybody across the board, but like I said earlier, you'll only show your subordinates and your station. And you could change this around if you wanna like see the station, but if you're only seeing your station, then that's not a big deal. But you could reorganize this thing if you needed. So let's see, assignment name, monthly drill, EMS, company training. So, and it's just information that going across. What this won't show you is the guys who still need to do the drill. So these are only completions. So if you have 17 guys on shift, you're showing 15 of them here. You gotta figure out who's not here. So that's the only issue, is that it won't show you who hasn't done it. Any questions on that? No. Okay. So let's go back here. That's the monthly drill report. You have a completions report. So for the month, it'll show you what was completed, including the drills. And this is your FER 139 report. And I'll click on that. And this is all assigned. This is everything that everybody's done. So, I mean, I don't know how useful that is, but there's a link there. I'm gonna click on that 139. I'm just gonna run it as is. Let's pull up. Yeah, so if you need a certain report or you're looking for a certain type of information, you could create a new report here, and really the sky's the limit on what kind of information you see. It's kind of like a rabbit hole when you go start going down in one of these things. There's like so many different ways to do it. So if you're gonna just stick with what we have, just email me if you guys need something else, and I'll help you figure out how to get it, information wise. So the FAA credentials is done. I'm gonna click on that. I'm gonna go full screen. And for this one here, for a credential, it just shows me how many units I've done. So we're requiring, like I said, we got 2 topics a year, right? So in order for getting 100% on this, we're gonna have to have two. So it won't give you the dates when these are done. It'll just give you that 1 unit was done, 2 units is done. So for Sturgis, he's done 2 units here, and if we go all the way to the end here, it's gonna give you a percent. So he's 16% completed. He's done 4 units. He needs 21. So that's what that looks like. Any questions? Okay, so if you, for any reason, need to put this in an Excel format, so once you run the report, you go on this download here, and you press spreadsheet or PDF or whatever you need here, and it'll download it to an Excel spreadsheet, and you can manipulate how you need it, how need be. Any questions on the reports? Okay, pretty easy. So COVID-19, these are just links that I put up here, DOH screening updates, and here's the COVID IAP, but these are anything COVID is in here. Blue card stuff will be in here. Some of the resources are here. ESO is the incident reporting system that we're trying to move toward, but that's just the link to it. It's not live. Um, so that's the right side of the bulletin board. In the center, you have your schedule. So anything that's due will pop up here. Um, your assignments, is anything assigned to you, will be here. Self-assigned. So getting back to the hazmat, I did open up the self-assign under here. See these courses. So they should be an hour each. I think one of them is half an hour, but if you click on a self-assigned course, let's click on that one. It'll show you, okay, this is a 1 hour course. So we're ready to do it. We're just gonna launch the course. So for the hazmat recert, we're requiring 2 hours worth of self-assigned courses. So once you complete that, in your credentials, which I'll show you, we'll say two units are done and that 2 hours are done in that. But this list, there's a ton of courses in Target Solutions, but right now we're just releasing a few of them until we can establish a training captain or someone to manage the training program. That is a full-time job right there. So for my focus was just to start up the training reports and get guys going onto the site, and not not so much being the administrator of courses and whatnot. So I did start with the hazmat, but those are right here. Any questions on that? Good, easy. Okay. So yeah, so August 31st, just make sure everybody has done two of these courses, and then we'll follow up with the training, the in-house training. So your history here will show you all your training reports that were logged for you. So let's say you work rank for rank, and you want to make sure your lieutenant or one of the officers include training. You can go in my history and say, okay, CPR drill, I was logged there, and you can see the details of that. So this is what the training report looks like. So if it's not there, then you have to get with the guy who created a training report and make sure they log one for you. Okay, any questions on that? Credentials, this is kind of important here. Anything with an expiration date or all your certs should be housed under your credentials. Right now, we only have hazmat, ramp, driver's license, AOA. So the the credentials that you sent me, we're gonna start to. We haven't sent them out yet. We'll start to build this for you guys. But anything with the expiration date, you can have ICS stuff here. You can have FEMA, whatever stuff, all in here. But the one we're most concerned with is the ARF recertification here. And this is what the credential looks like. So you have all of your topics, your 13 topics within this credential. And if you look here, it's 2 of 2. So we're requiring 2 training reports per year to get 100%. So that's where you get the 2 of 2. But technically, FA only needs 1, but we'll do 1 every 6 months. But these the goal is to get all these 100 and to have up here 100%, and then we should be compliant as far as FA is concerned. Any questions on that? Okay, within these credentials here, let me click around here. You have all of these listed here. So these are all courses within Target Solutions. Like I said, we're not releasing these out yet for self-study, but they're all under here. These would give credit to that topic. So if you did a ARFF personal safety, that would credit you here with 1 unit. But right now that's not available. So your SCBA drills, all your under those topics will be listed on the bottom here. So these are all the SCBA drills that you did. So technically you're supposed to have 12 of these SCB drills on the bottom here. So this is where the training reports go after you submit it. They fall into one of these categories. So like I said, with your wet drills, they're tied to one of these categories, firefighting ops, structural rescue, and firefighting equipment. So once you complete those, you'll start fulfilling these buckets here, these credentials here. Any questions on the ARFF credential? Okay. Moving on, like I said, hazmat ops refresher. The refresher class will be 4 hours, so 0 of 4. So we didn't do 4 hours yet. 0 of 2. So that means we gotta do 2 of these to get credit for it. So this one, aircraft hazards part 2, is only half an hour. So just if you guys click that, make sure you get this one here, this red vector HAZCOM, to get that full hour for credit, to give you 2 hours. Okay. And these are just your regular driver's license AOA badge, and this expiration date and whatnot. So there's gonna have alerts in here when these start to expire. Any questions at all on credentials? Okay, good. So my events, this is not live right now. It's tied to this calendar here. Let me pull it up, but the calendar is not accessible right now to everybody. Not yet. We're just trying to spool up the training right now, so I'm gonna view calendar. But when it does come live, you could schedule out appointments. You could, if you guys set up a pre-fire plan for that day, you could add it here, and event name, pre-fire plan, United Hangar, or whatever, and then I could see it, and everybody else could see that you guys are what you guys are doing that day. But that's not live yet, but soon it will be. File center is where all of the videos, training material, PDFs will be housed. So anything that's going to be tied to Target Solutions is going to be housed in this file center. So you can, the guys who are helping me with the files have access to upload files on it. Like they have IFSTAs and whatnot in here. IFSTA ARFF 6th edition. So these will be tied to the activities sooner or later. But that's what the file center is. It's kind of like a P drive that, but you're storing just training stuff. It's not going to be a personal drive where guys going to be uploading the workout routines and whatnot. So it's just going to be strictly um, training material. But you guys have all access to this. You just can't upload it, but you can download any of this stuff here. So SOPs, they have. This is where the what we're talking about today is. How's that? The weekly routine and the master training um, schedule. Any questions on file center? No, good. Forums. It's been surprisingly active, which is good. Any questions? Having the guys posted up here so we can answer them and everybody can view it. But um, you know, Captive Ars is pretty active here, and then I try to answer them pretty quick. So if you're gonna post something on here, or you're gonna add on something on this link, there's these two links here. So the first one with the paper will edit the comment. So we don't want to edit the comment, right? We want to just add to it. So we're gonna just click this little blue arrow to add to it, or ask another question, or however you wanna, however you want to add something to that. Um, Record completions right here is the same link as that airplane on the record training. Let me get back to it. So it's the same as this ARFF training. It's the same link as recording completion. So recording completions, in other words, is that we're just recording training. That's what that means, a completion, that you completed a training completion. Um, what else do we have here? So on the top here, we have these little, this guy here. If it's yellow with a number, that means you have a notification. And just click on it and it'll show you what that notification is. Community resources is a good link here. If you're gonna do some kind of training, just pop onto community resources and do a search. So let's search active shooter. Let's search AIR, and then and it's just gonna give you what the community or people that's in Target Solutions, what they've created, what they're willing to share. So don't reinvent the wheel. If you're looking for something that you don't want to create training, you just see what the community resources has, and let's type in ARF, and there's all these topics that you can use. So we're just going to click on this airport rescue firefighting solutions. I don't know what that is. So you got to preview it, see what it looks like, see if it's usable to you, and then you guys can deliver that training. You can import that resource and use that as training. So again, don't reinvent the wheel with training. If you're thinking about doing something, like maybe ballistic parachutes or something, hey, type it in here. I'm sure someone else has something going on, and you just pretty much borrow their info without having to recreate that. So that's pretty much it as a whole here. Any questions at all? Comments, concerns, issues? Okay, that's good. If I don't hear anything, this is good actually. Okay, so if there's nothing, I'm gonna wrap this thing up, and then you guys can always email me or hit me up on the forums if you have any sidebar questions or whatever, or call me. So if that's all there is, I'm gonna wrap this up. So right on, easy.
Okay,
Okay,
thanks,
guys.
Chief.
Okay, thank you, guys.